Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. For those of you watching the other not stream, I'm trying to remove that right now, actually. See if I can delete it or something. Let's delete that. Yeah. That way it's not there. You should be able to just see this now. And I'm going to announce this. All right. Well, we're already live. So anyway, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting, what you should be painting. Again, I'm sorry for the technical difficulties here. So let me just go ahead and continue my little setup here. Let's go ahead and watch this. Let's view on the watch page. Just see this now. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we got live chat going. Got us on mute on the YouTube side. You can hear my going. And let me just send out a text and a YouTube, couple of things here. Sorry for the slightly late start here. But a couple of things. One, it's Monday night. It's not Wednesday night. Why the hell am I doing this? Well, this week, again, is going to be kind of hectic with regards to the schedule. So we're just going to do a feed tonight. Besides, we have a lot of cool stuff to talk about tonight. And I wanted to paint. And I may not know what type of opportunities I will have this week to paint. So I better do that now. All right, so once again, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Yeah, I'm actually going to put this. I'm going to post this a couple places so that I am, in fact, live. And then we'll get into what I'm actually painting. Let's go to let's go here. Let's post this. So that goes into this. Very good. There. So now it's around if people are watching. There we go. Yeah, I had to delete the other one that I scheduled today because I screwed something up in the settings or whatever. But we're going to go ahead and go with this. If you want to comment, I do have the comments up. I also have group chat up. And so you can comment a few different ways. You can comment on the Google Plus chat. You can comment on the YouTube chat, which is actually the fastest one. Or you can tweet me at Play It Painted. So if you want something live, you can do that. That's fine. Once again, welcome to the show. We are doing a little Monday broadcast here, which is a little bit different than usual because our schedule is going to be kind of weird this week. So let me show you what we are going to be working on. That way, when the compressor is going, nobody's confused. I'm actually going to be start to finish on a couple of models, but I'm only going to finish one tonight. So I've got these two models here. It'd be nice if I actually tiled this properly. This is how I did it last time, which is actually the best way to do it, is actually have the Google thing going on one side and have the, hi Josie, how's it going? Yeah, so here's the two models that we're going to be working on. Succubus Vandella, and this is the Herald of Vulcanus. These are some older models from Super Dungeon Explorer, their edition mini bosses, and I was missing them out of my collection. So luckily, Rory chipped in and actually gave me these models at Kingdom Con, which was cool. So officially, I am missing only one Super Dungeon Explorer model, and that is King Starfire. So thank you, Rory, for these. And I will pick up King Starfire as soon as it becomes available again. So once again, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. We're about to get started here with these models. And so I'm going to do a quick prime on these. I'm going to do, you know, it's not really an advanced technique, but a semi-advanced technique, which is called a zenithal prime. It's something that I use quite a bit these days because it helps me do the job faster. But for the most part, it's not a necessary step. I mean, most of the time you just want to prime. A lot of times you're just priming with one color. In this case, we're going to be priming with 3 colors. So breaking the airbrush out. Kind of a weak flow, but it's okay. We're going to do light coating on these. Yeah, it's really weak. That's okay. The one thing that's kind of cool about having this weak of a spray right now, because I am using the 0.2, I'm using a really small needle on the airbrush, is I can control my priming. I have a very, very good control over how much paint's going down, how thick I want my prime coat. It's just going to take a little bit longer. But hey, since we're only working on 2 miniatures tonight, why not, right? You can kind of see this whole process from start to finish. Now, if you don't have access to an airbrush, what you would normally do is you would go out and buy yourself a little can of spray primer. I would recommend Krylon Flat Spray Primer. Go to Home Depot. They're like $3 or $4 a can. Or you could buy Automotive Spray Primer. And one of the main decisions for your primer is going to be, do you prime black, white, gray? Or if you want to do something a little bit more extensive like this, because this is a multi-step prime that we're going to do here. So there's that. I'm still getting texts or what? What is the deal? Okay, I think it was. Maybe they just wanted me to stop spraying for a second. And I'll go over like my opinions on, how to do spray priming and what color to pick. Because before very recently, I was doing pretty much all spray priming, so spray bottle priming. And I was doing all white prime. I would prime everything white. And there's a couple schools of thought there. If you prime a model black, you'll be able to get away with a lot more mistakes, but your model won't come out very bright. If you do white, your model will come out very bright, and there's some really cool tricks for painting things quickly that I use when I prime white. But the downside is, it's a little less forgiving of when you do make mistakes. So you have Vandella here. Like Vandella, I would mostly prime white because she is going to be bright. Her skin color is going to be pretty bright. But I'm going to show you what I'm doing these days to achieve it and still get my highlighting and shadowing and all that stuff. So if you're just tuning in, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting, what you should be painting. Go ahead and hop in on the live chat on YouTube. It seems to be the most effective way to talk to me during these. The other option is if you're on Google Plus, and maybe you can even hop on the feed if you got a camera and or a microphone. I'm not sure if Corey did say he wanted to hop on, but I didn't see him around, so I'm going to do this part anyway. It's kind of sucks when, you know, you have another person trying to talk and you're generating all this sound with your airbrush. It's just not that cool. I'm going to clear a little bit of a clog going on here. So I'm just going to there we go. All right. Hey, number 3. Are you talking about the number of viewers? Hey, number 3. Let's say hey, number 3. We got a little bit of a mold line there that I would need to take care of, but not that big a deal. So with the black primer, I don't necessarily need to hit all of the model. I'm really just trying to hit the, you know, the most recessed areas, because the black that's what's going to stay in those areas. This is going to be the, basically the shading. I'm having a slight difficulty here with my trigger. The thing about airbrush is most of airbrushing is about, you know, taking care of the instrument, making sure things are clean, making sure you don't have any jams or anything like that. Oh, hey, what's up, Corey? And, you know, the rest of this stuff, the techniques with the airbrush is actually pretty simple. But it's kind of getting the discipline down to where you're always clearing. And I need more pressure. Where you're just sort of clearing out jams and that kind of stuff, clogs, running cleaners through. The actual airbrushing itself, pretty simple. All right, there. So the black's down, or at least mostly down. I'm going to go ahead and clear it out. And then we're going to change the color. So again, this is actually a much more common practice these days than it was, say, you know, 2 or 3 years ago. Actually, I'll say more like 4 or 5 years ago. This is a technique called zenithal priming. And I've been using it a lot lately because it really does just kind of help me get the job done a little bit quicker. And I also use it in tandem with inks these days, because inks allow me to change out my airbrush colors really fast, and they allow me to control the depth of the color really nicely. They do take a little bit of practice to use. So, but once you get it, I swear by it, and it's fantastic. And now I have to find my gray primer. Okay, so black primer is down. We're going to go to gray primer. I'm going to turn my pressure down a little bit now that I've turned it up. Do airbrushes use a compressor? Yes, they do. You can use a compressor, which is like what I'm using. You can use canisters of compressed air. You can use, you know, pancake compressors. You can use, I saw a guy use an inflated tire before, and he said that's actually the best way to keep even pressure. And I sort of believe him, because it does make sense. So yeah. So now I'm doing the zenithal prime. So here's the main idea here is keeping this at an angle. So when I'm spraying black, for example, I'd be spraying dead on or whatever all over the place. Now that I'm spraying the gray, the idea is to use it kind of like a highlight. So I'm going to come up and spray it at a top-down angle, as it is. Yes, CO2 whippets. All right, so, and I'm gonna spray this gray down. You can see there's still just a little hint of pink there. That's okay. Remember, primer is not there to cover. It's just there to help the actual paint grab onto the thing. So there we go. And give it a little bit of a, there we go. So again, concentrate the spray on the higher areas of the model. Need another little drop of gray primer here. I think I'm going to paint the succubus tonight. I think I will concentrate on her a little more than him. Although I don't know, he's pretty damn cool. I might have to do some of that like gold non-metallic metal, so you guys can see how you can kind of cheat with. Actually, I will do that tonight, but that doesn't mean I'm going to finish him. We're also going to talk a little bit about the Made Painting Challenge and what I'm doing there, and then talk a little bit obviously about Kingdom Con, because Kingdom Con was awesome. And wish I had been there more days, but got a mold line on this guy. Not so hot, but it's all right. We will make it work. You must trust in the process, is what I always say. So Corey, what are you working on tonight? All right, so now, last step here, well, just a little bit of, I'm using generic cleaner. You can buy denatured alcohol at the Home Depot for pretty cheap, or you could even buy like rubbing alcohol if you can't get to a depot. It should all pretty much work. Airbrush cleaner is actually better in terms of keeping your airbrush in good working shape, but alcohol is cheaper. Working on parallax, interesting. Okay, cool. You're the model that Adam gave you this past weekend. Those are fun models to paint, by the way. I do have a lot of fun painting up parallax. So, okay, so now going in with white, and yeah, that's actually pretty good air pressure. And now I'm going to take my angle up even more. So finished around a smash up earlier. Nice. Smash up is a fun game. Researchers and werewolves. Huh? Cool. So you can see the white going down. Can you guys see that there actually is like a shadow effect going on here with this miniature? Because that's the goal. Looking pretty good. All right. Here, maybe you can see it on him. You can see the layering going down? Good. You can see the gradient, right? Light to dark. You can see where the light spots are hitting. All right. When I first started airbrushing, I thought it was cheating. Well, actually, let me correct myself. I thought it was dumb because I obviously was bad at it and didn't understand. But now that I do it a lot, it's I really like it for getting stuff done quickly. And you can do some really cool effects with it that you can actually do with a regular just, brush technique, but it's a lot harder to do it with just a brush than just sitting here and going. Okay. That's pretty good. All right, let's clear out the airbrush. And then I'm going to pause and show you guys this real quick. Okay. I tell people that 2/3 of airbrushing, when you're airbrushing, doing an airbrush session, you're going to be running cleaner through your airbrush and making sure you don't have any clogs or anything like that. Because that is literally 2/3 of the job. Sounds kind of boring, but it does. If you get the technique down, you do get really, really fast. Anyway, so here's a zenithal prime, like I was saying. So you can let that focus in there. And you can see that on the high parts of the model, it's lighter than on the darker parts. There's still some black. There's a lot of gray left over. If you look here, I'm going to see if I can zero in on that. See that blade? You see how it's like, it's like light on the end and dark on the bottom there. That's what you're going for. You're going for that. But especially on something like a blade or a piece of steel, you're going to do that because that's a cheap and quick lighting effect that you can do to paint non-metallic. So the other thing I should point out, I don't paint a lot of metallics unless the client asks me to or something like that, because I don't like that going through my airbrush in general. I don't like it ruining my paint brushes. I just don't like the metallic flakes. It looks fantastic, but when it comes down to it, if you can pull off a decent non-metallic metal, no one even really notices, or in some cases they prefer it, especially a cartoony line like this. So yes, shinier on top, yes, that's exactly what we're going for, like it's flashing in the sun. So here's the succubus. This is a super fun model. Very hard to find these days too. So cool. All right, so now we are going to do a little bit of inking. So we're going to do a little, we're going to do bronze armor on this dude. And in order to do bronze armor, I have a couple of options. I could use a brown ink, but I will probably use, brown ink's actually not bad. Use a brown ink, or I could use a sepia ink. Sepia ink's a little richer, so let's go with sepia. All right, so we'll shake this up. We'll go with the sepia ink. All right. Once again, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Right now, I'm just doing a little airbrush work on these Super Dungeon Explorer miniatures. So brown going down. That rhymed, not intentionally. So this is a sepia ink. And this is going to form basically what is the undertone of that non-metallic bronze that that effect that we're shooting for. And this is where your muscle memory kicks in, your ability to kind of control that trigger on your airbrush. You guys have any questions so far? And you can actually get fairly precise, even though, you are working with an airbrush. You can block out this color pretty well. Okay, so here we go. So that's the undercoat. You can already kind of see it's developing a little bit of a bronze look And then I'm just going to go heavier. That's what I like about the inks. You can go heavier on the bottom, like where your shadows are going to be. And it's just so nice in terms of how it, see that? There we go. So it's okay to overlap in places that aren't going to bronze at the end. Oh yeah. No, it's fine. It's totally fine, especially with a color like sepia, because I actually use sepia to shade the flesh. So that's totally cool. All right, so am I going to do any sepia on this? I don't know. I might do the wings. Let's just do the wings, because I'm not sure. Because that's a good way to make decisions, right? Just totally not be sure and then just do it. All right, so here we go. And you notice how I'm just kind of leaving the tops a little bit lighter. Again, that's the lighting effect, highlighting effect that we want to go. You know, I'm not leaving it completely white. I'm actually spraying it, but it's just very, very thin amount of sepia going down right there. Cool. I like it. Yeah. Maybe a little on the, she got a little crown, little circlet here. And yeah, you can see I got some on the face. That's okay. All right. Cool. Cool. Almost cool. Almost cool. Such a cool model. All right. Let's clear the sepia out. Now, the main advantage of speed with the inks is because they don't use any coarse pigments. You can shoot them through the gun pretty quick. You can clean out pretty quick, and you can change over really quick. And that's what I really love about it, because I can swap colors super fast. And when you're doing that, you combined with the fact that you can highlight up and down, really nice. Okay. What else do we want here? Okay, so let's decide on a color of cloak for this dude. He's got kind of a reddish cloak. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use Skin Wash, which is weird because I never use this color for skin. It's just way too orange. Phil disagrees with me. He always uses it for skin, but I never use it for skin. But whatever. Anyway. Orange or what? Well, I don't know. What do you guys? Maybe should the cloak be blue? Because blue in the non-metallic bronze is pretty sick. But then the little I forget the name of the little broom top should be like an orangish color, right? So we can at least do that while we're trying to figure. So let's spray a little. See, well, there we go. Yeah, maybe it should be, well, it should be red. Blue-green would look cool. Blue-green, huh? So maybe I can do turquoise cloak. I'm down with that. Let's do it. All right. Okay. So yeah, we'll do blue-green. Sure, why not? Let me clear out the... I think that's one of the things that, you know, other guys that do airbrush ask me is like, how do you change out so quick? Well, a lot of times it's ink, because when I will do like normal paints in here in just a minute here, and those do take longer to clear out. All right, so we're going with turquoise ink. P3 inks are some of my absolute favorite because the hues are really nice. They're really strong, and they're just really good colors. So, ooh, I don't like that. I might have a little too much alcohol left over from that last spray. This is where I'm in tight. And so I got to be a little bit more careful on the cloak. Did I just put green in? This looks like green. Okay. All right. Yeah, sure. There. And we're just going to build up that blue-green a little bit. There we go. Okay. So his major colors are blocked out, as you can see. There's not a whole lot left to do to paint that guy. There's lighting and stuff, but it's not that bad. In fact, well, hold on. There we go. Yeah, because she's not going to see much in terms of ink, I'm going to finish the airbrush stuff on him, and she's actually going to get a couple of airbrush colors, but ultimately she's going to be painted. All right, so next up, we're going to go on with a little bit more of that bronze. So I'm going in with yellow ochre this time, and this is going to be just another one of those highlight colors that goes down. So maybe we will finish both models tonight. Who knows? There's no rush, actually, because not really that big on getting these done. I got to go over what we're painting for the May painting challenge and how all that's going to work. All right, so just do this. Oh, that's cool. So this is an actual airbrush paint. This is Vallejo Model Color, or sorry, Vallejo Model Air, which is fantastic for airbrush. It's also just really good paint if you don't like the thin paint. You can just paint with it. Their metallics in particular are fantastic. Says the guy who never uses metallics. But no, when I brush metallics, it's a good kind of go-to. Okay, so you can see. I hope you can see. Let's show this to you. Okay, so you can see. Oh, come on, focus. See how that's coming in? Yeah. A little color gradient there. Let's take it up one more. Okay, so we're going to go from yellow ochre, and we're going to go to not. Oh yeah, well, I could do that. I got a choice here. I could go light brown, or I could go aged white, and I'm going to go aged white because I like to bit drastics, because this is cartoony, like video game looking miniatures, so it works. Once again, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting, what you should be painting. Just painting some cool SDE mini bosses which are also playable heroes now, which is awesome. So you can make a party of all bad guys, which would be cool. Oh, a little too much there, but that's okay. Even in that case, it looks all right. I'm just making excuses. It really doesn't. It doesn't look good. It's not going to work. That's sarcasm, by the way. This should look fine. All right. So, looking good, no? I show it to you. All right. There. See that transition from the light to the dark? That is way easy to do with airbrush. It's way not easy to do without an airbrush. You'd have to use glazes and that kind of stuff. And I used to paint that way. It just takes a little bit longer to do it that way. But I will admit, I like how that looks better. It just looks like a more solid model. And we do another trick here to kind of make that armor look a little more solid, because right now it looks really flat. I mean, the color transition is fantastic on it, but it does look really flat. All right, so next up, we want to, I'm going to base coat the flesh of her, and then I'm going to paint her. I'm going to base coat her hair. Okay, so let's go. I need to make a purple or a pink type of thing. So I've got a couple of options. I can go with this Minotaur demon flesh, and but before that, I want to go with a purple. Let me see what I got here in my bag of paints. By the way, Corey, are you gaming up here this week, or are you gaming down there? Curious. All right. We did that for a D&D campaign. Good had turned the world into a drab and boring place, so we formed an all-star team of bad guys to reset the balance. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to use this game color, which is not an airbrush paint. When you're using something that's not an airbrush paint, you need to use you need to thin. You can thin with water, or you can thin with airbrush medium. And the advantage to thinning with airbrush medium is that it actually will help suspend the pigments better than water. If you thin with water, what would happen, especially this happens true of like off-whites, browns, that kind of thing, is the heavier grind, the heavier pigments will settle out, and you'll get these crusties shooting out of your gun, and it's kind of a mess. So I'm using this to make myself a little mixture here. And we'll mix this up. Mix a custom purple, put in the airbrush. Use this. It's not big enough. I need a big brush to put it in. Not too sure, maybe both. Wow, you crazy, man. You are hardcore, sir. Mark is coming to CQ tomorrow, and he wants to play Eldorado, and I'm like all for that. I'm excited to get in some Eldorado, so I'm for sure. And besides that, it really is my only day to game this week, so I need to rinse this out real quick. My brush. All right. So here we go. Oh, that's a good purple. That's a good purple. All right. So Got to work some kind of weird angles here to get it to land where I need it to land, but overall pretty good. I'm going to actually continue to work on the wings, so you can see a color transition in the wings as well. Once again, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. You're just painting some SDE tonight, Succubus, and the Herald of Vulcanus. Vulcanus? I don't know. All right. See, there's a pink. You can see, well, it's more of a purple. And now I'm going to put a little pink in it. So we're going to take that same mixture. Who doesn't want to play Helldorado? Yeah, never. Yeah, I know Heldorado's awesome. I'll give you the basics of Helldorado here, Josie. Essentially, we're talking about 16th century Europe, or 17th, no 16th, during the 30 Years' War. So you have this massive Christian civil war going on, and this happens in Magdeburg, and the fighting and the raping and the pillaging gets so bad, so bad that a portal opens up to hell itself. You know, like the Dante Inferno hell. So there's a lot of that reference to this too. And so the Europeans jump down. They explore this this land, and they find rare artifacts. They find metals that never rust. They find all kinds of treasure and loot, and they say, hey, why don't we continue to rape and pillage and loot down here? They found a new city in hell they call New Jerusalem. And meanwhile, they're fighting the demons down in hell, because the demons are the natural inhabitants of hell. So they're fighting demons in hell, and as they kill the demons keep coming back as damned ones and whatever. And then you also have some other creatures down there known as the Lost. And come to find out, the Muslims and the Buddhists already have kingdoms down there in hell, and they all have their own, kind of motivations for why they're down in hell. For example, the Muslims they believe that the gateway to heaven, the Garden of Eden, is in hell. That's why they're exploring hell for that purpose. Meanwhile, the Buddhists they literally have a kingdom in hell that they're trying to protect from the outsiders. The Lost are a rebel faction down there that are based on a lot of South American religions, and they basically reject the rule of the demon overlords. So essentially, it's the game the game setting is, we like to say, it's the colonization of Africa that happened in the 16th century, except you replace Africa with hell. And that's the premise of the game. And it's a very fun game. The miniatures are fantastic. They're some of my all-time favorites. And the game has been kind of on the back burner for a while with Cypher Ninja Division, but we got a little excited when we met John this weekend, and he talked a little bit about Helldorado. That, and I think I was telling you earlier today, Josie, about the game Claustrophobia, which is actually set in the Helldorado universe. So I haven't tried it yet, Corey, so I am interested in playing that. All right, looking pretty good. I think what I want to do now is I want to add a little white to this mixture and just take it up one more step. Yeah, the Helldorado universe is so awesome. It really is. It's one of my favorites. Obviously, it's not the most game. It's not the most family-friendly setting for a game, but that's kind of comes with the territory there. Love the game though. I don't like it. I would still put Relic Knights ahead of it because Relic Knights still offers just so many weird possibilities. But even the most hardcore war gamers will say that that they really like Helldorado and they really like what that game has to offer. I like to play Immortals because then I can play David Lopan. I can play the Big Trouble in Little China crew. Yes, yeah, I agree with Corey. It is super fun to play. All right, so there we go. This is the last highlight on her. Her skin looks pretty cool. Fun. Okay. And then I'll just, I don't think I'm going to airbrush her hair. I'm just going to paint it in because there is a lot of control involved there with the little pigtails and whatnot flying around. So, all right. And I will officially be shutting off the compressor here as soon as I'm clean. Right? There's nothing else to shoot through the compressor. It doesn't look like. It looks like we're all pretty good for the most part. Okay. And the rest of this is just going to be painting. I need to get a sip of my drink too while this stuff is. All right. Okay, so there we go. You can see we're actually pretty good ways through. There's a game I run called The Shadow of Yesterday that offers multiple routes for experience, most of them requiring interaction between characters. That does sound interesting. All right, so we're going to let this a minute because I'm going to talk a little bit about the May Painting Challenge and what that entails. And I'm going to have a little drink here. Okay. Not as dark as Helldorado, but very intense. The fudge dice system is nuts. Anything called fudge dice sounds kind of cool to me. All right, so the May Painting Challenge is something that a fellow YouTuber runs. His name is Warboss Tay Online, and literally what it is you define a project for yourself. You pick, and we pick the month here. Last year it was July, and your goal is to work all the way through the project. So it can be one miniature, it can be like 20 miniatures, and it could be 60 miniatures, and your goal is to try to finish them in the month. In addition, you film a daily update, and that's the hard part because a lot of people just like to paint. The hard part for me was getting used to shooting a daily update. So you shoot like a 1 to 2 minute video every day, kind of what you did or what you didn't do, and people get to see a progression through your project. That's the base level of participation, and it's very fun. I highly recommend, if you have a deadline, let's say you want to paint something before GameX, that would be fantastic. That's the base level of participation. That's the way it's been for a couple years. This year, he's decided to step it up quite a bit, and he set up different levels of participation. So that would be like, I think level 2 would be a daily. Level 1 would be, here's my goal, and you shoot any number of videos that you can, and then you shoot like a beginning and then an end, and you wrap up that way. Level 2 would be, okay, here's my project, and then you've got, you shoot a daily update, and then in the end you show your project. I'm doing level 4 this year, which is like fully immersive experience. So that's why if you've seen if you have seen the video I put up a little earlier today, the intro, it's got It's got kind of a fluff component to it. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm doing this around Forgotten King Super Dungeon Explorer. Okay, so that video has previews some of the models I'll be painting. The models are the second wave for Forgotten King. So these are models that most people currently don't have access to. I thought it would be cool to paint through these and just kind of so that people can kind of preview what they're getting in wave 2, and they probably will be getting them while I'm painting through them. So, you know, so there's other warbands, other creatures. This is like a dragon style list. These are like beast masters. You've got these, the fungus, the myconid list. There's a bunch of mini bosses. There's a zombie set, the Stilltown zombies, which are freaking sweet looking. So my plan is, I didn't take a physical count of the models. I think it's somewhere in the 50 area, 50 to 60 models. My plan is to work through this month. And then the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to do a warband and do a hero. So because it's a progression, when you paint through a warband, you unlock a hero. Then you paint the hero. Then you go back, paint another warband, paint another hero. Back and forth until you're done. And I have 4 heroes that are yet to be painted, and they're all pretty sweet. So here is Survivor Marie Claude. So she's from the Stilltown set. She fights zombies with her rolling pin and frying pan. So really cool, kind of like a civilian type model. I don't know, just fun. And Marie Claude is starting to show up in all their games because she's an actual person, and that's awesome. Then you have the Terry Brook Mage. So Fox, what are they called? The Fox people mage thing. It's got a little tail with a ball on the end of it with a little bell. That's cool. So she's fun. Then you have the Cavalier, I think she is. And that's just awesome. Like a knight looking chick, which is cool. And then finally you have this one, which is awesome. The Deeproot Fighter. So like Princess Mononoke style. The crossbow and the little mask and everything. This is like one of my favorite miniatures. So the way I paint through projects like this is I actually reward myself as I'm going through. So, as I'm painting, hordes of zombies, then I'll stop, paint a hero, go back, paint a bunch of mushroom things and paint a hero. I gotta show off some of these other miniatures because they're so badass. Look at this. That's a mini boss. This looks like an episode of Power Rangers right here, this thing. This dragon dude. You got like these giant mushroom things. Angry mushrooms are badass. You got, a flesh golem type thing, and you got like your voodoo witch doctor. This is really cool from the dragon set. The Dragon Knight. That's just awesome. And then finally, comes with a new boss too, Goro. So here's Goro. Super fun. Hey, what's up, Corey?
Hello.
Yo. All right. So that's what I'm going to be painting through the War Boss Tay Challenge. And again, each set will unlock the next set. So the goal is to unlock all 4 of the heroes. There's a narrative that I'm going to be running with it, where our hero, the Royal Warden, is liberating his friends and fighting off hordes of monsters. And his success or failure is dependent upon my ability to complete the painting challenge. So it should be fun. But the level 4, like War Boss Tay, really made it kind of like interactive, where you can actually buy gear for your party, you hire people for your party, you train them, and all this kind of stuff. So pretty awesome. Does it have a name worthy of power? I don't remember the name of that dragon thing, but it's really cool though. Oh no. Good question. All right, so let's get to painting. I'm going to paint So I'm going to paint one anime eye just to show you how, because I only have access to one anime eye between the two models. So we'll get to that. How's it going, Corey?
Good, just recovering from this weekend.
Recovering from Kingdom Con.
Yeah, I slept in until like 10, and then I pretty much napped this afternoon, which is crazy. I don't know why, but I did.
So you had today off, right?
I've got the rest of the week off.
Nice.
There was no way I
Smart
was going
man.
back to work this week.
Yeah. Yeah, I only did a day there, and that was quite a lot happened in the one day.
Well, there was some fun times while you were there.
Yeah. So
You didn't bring enough hockey.
I didn't bring enough sake because I figured I was only going to be there a day, and then I totally spaced. Well, one, I was expecting Jesse to be there because he owes me a bottle of sake. And two, I didn't expect there would be that many people that I wanted to drink with that day. I just didn't think. You forget how many people
You
you
know.
you know and you game with, and so they come by and it's like, hey man, have a shot of sake with me. And yeah, what are you gonna do? But can't complain. That's the more people I saw, the better it got. And that's what that's one of the things I really love about KC is, there are people there that I go specifically to see. Because obviously Gail, that's the only place that we can really see her, unless I make it to Gen Con this year. And a few of the other guys. So, anywho, so do you want to go over your KC experience, because you were there since Thursday, right?
I was there since Thursday.
Okay.
So Thursday, I got a little bit later of a start than I planned to. I had to bring tables up there for the War Machine guys, so that's okay. But got there early. We actually ended up playing some of the new Forgotten Kings,
Okay.
so that was fun. So we got in the game of that. Pretty much Friday night, or Thursday night, we just kind of there wasn't a lot going on, so it's pretty easy going. I don't even remember what happened Thursday night, to be honest. I didn't drink it all though, that much at least, so that's good. But Thursday, so yeah, that was about it. And then Friday came along, did pretty much demos for Rock Knights all day until about 4 o'clock. And then me being a nice person that I am, I let John use one of the tables for his Melville tournament because they didn't have enough room for him.
That's cool.
So I let him take over the
nice.
area so he could have room, and that was cool. So I kind of set in a little bit of that. Went off, played a few games of my own. And then it was back to Saturday, which was just crazy.
Saturday was the marathon. Yeah.
Saturday was the party, the demos all day, and then a eventful evening to end the night, of course. But I had a good time with that. Tournament was pretty good. I think
that was
really well.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah, tournament went really well. I'm excited with the outcome. We had a total of 10 players, so that was cool. And actually, about half of them had never played a game like once in their life, so that was cool.
Yeah, we had introduced people over the course of the weekend, and when I say we, mostly you.
Yeah.
And by the time the tournament rolled around, then we had them playing in the tournament, which is awesome. I love it when that works out that way at conventions.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was cool because some of the guys were like, "Oh, this is pretty neat," And I was like, yeah, we're doing a tournament, and you're welcome to play. They're like, we don't have anything. I'm like, well, that's what I'm here for. I got you.
Yeah, I got you. You were
Um,
painting like a madman for at least a week and a half before this event just to be able to say that, which was
yeah.
awesome.
So got some people that never played into it, and turns out one of the guys took third place. For those that weren't at Kingdom Con or didn't play or didn't hear anything about it, so we had about 4 people that had never played before. We got them into a few demos, or in the case of Octave, got 2 that never played once into the tournament and taught them how to play in the tournament. So that was cool.
As the first round game, yeah.
The first round game, they were learning how to play, and actually most of them either one of them didn't do too bad. And then the 2 guys that I
thought they
taught
both did well.
the day prior, one of the guys took third place. He was tied for second, but the way that scenarios broke down for tiebreakers put him in third instead of second. And he ended up walking away with a faction, so got him into the game right away.
Nice.
And the other guy took fourth, and he got Sebastian Cross, which is the faction he wanted to play anyways. So that was cool.
Nice. Yeah, and Josie she jumped in on the tournament too, and she did really well. She actually taught us that real cool trick you can do to an objective when something's beating down on your objective. Pretty funny, actually.
Yeah.
So nice. Yeah, I gotta thank you for that because I during the course of the tournament I kind of lost track of shots of sake and how much beer I was drinking, and the coherency started to fade very quickly.
Hey, but you know what? You pretty much answered all the questions.
Some comments. At least you didn't have to work at 7 a.m. the following day. You freaking know everyone, Octave, and it speaks. Yeah, that's actually pretty brave of you to go back to work 7 a.m. the next morning after that. And I heard, Corey, after I left that you were still going at it pretty hard, right? You guys ended up playing Zombicide or something after?
Oh, I didn't. I broke out the bottle of Fireball, and yes, that's about where my gaming time ended. I was what we tried to attempted to play Cash and Guns. It was more me around walking around to Zombicide table and trying to shoot the zombies.
Nice.
While I snuck away with a beer. So that was interesting. But yeah, they started playing Zombicide, and I kind of just wandered off, and it got crazy after that. And I met some people that I saw some people I haven't seen in a while, and it was cool.
Yeah, I wish I could have stayed a little bit after that, because I mean that's what I really like about KC is it's definitely a more party atmosphere, and people are just happy there. There's not, you don't see like too many surly drunks until it gets really, really late. Then you'll have a couple of people that get to that surly point. But for the most part, it's all pretty happy in terms of the drinkers there.
Yeah. So it was fun. And I'm waiting for the next 365 days to roll around for it to happen again.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to just really quickly explain where I'm at in the eyeball painting process. What did I do with the dropper? There it is. All right. So, and I'll zero in on the eye. Started at 4 a.m. today, Jeebus. Should be sleeping. So you paint in the whole eye black, then you paint in that middle white. Then I'm going to paint in the pupil. This is a demon character, so I actually am going to go with a red because red looks cool for eyeballs. And I'm going to paint just kind of like an oval towards the bottom here. And we're going to leave some of this white showing. And this should look pretty sweet. Oh, my red's a little runny. That, and it's kind of difficult to paint this tight with the camera, but it's okay. Chibi eyes. Obviously, I'm using a very fine point brush. Okay, so a couple steps left on that eye. You can see it. Felt bad for the staff who had to clean up after the drunks. Well, yeah, they come through like way early in the morning and they got to do that. So, yeah, that is part of the job. But Ross has a great staff there, and he has a really, really solid staff working Kingdom Con and keeping that show going. So he's a very fortunate man in that regard. So now I'm going to paint in this dude's eyes. So his eyes are much more simple. They're just how I would paint regular miniature eyes, just black, white pupil. I'm sorry, white over the black, and then paint in the pupil. Cool. So what happened on Sunday, Corey? How'd Sunday go?
Sunday woke up later than planned. And I played in the Netrunner tournament that they had going on. I was pretty much miniatured out, and I never thought I'd say that in my life, but I was exhausted. So I played in the Netrunner tournament. It was fun, but I had to bounce out the first round. I had to take a loss because I didn't realize the time, and I figured I should check out before I get charged for another night. So pretty much gave up my first round to my opponent. For what?
So that's a good call.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? Just give my first round the winner. Just give him the win. I've got to go check out my room, and then I'll be back. So, but it was fun. And then nothing after that. I didn't really do anything. I pretty much just waited around for the privateer press guys to be done. Because I was one that brought the tables back and forth, so I had to wait until they were done to go home. So.
Well, that was really nice of you to bring their tables for them.
Yeah, because if I didn't, they didn't have to use. So I do what I can.
Yeah, that was nice. Okay, so here we go with. Here's the eye. Like I said, I painted in. Oh, focus. Please. There we go. Okay, so you can see I painted in the black there in the middle of that red. The final step here is I'm going to paint a little gleam in this eye. And there's two ways to do it. You can paint one big white dot up top and one in the bottom. But given the size of this particular eye, I'm going to do the one up top. And I'm just going to basically paint a little white dot. Right where the red meets the black center. That's where you want your little gleam. And let me show you guys this. I don't know if you can, well, you can kind of make that out, sort of, right? And you can see that little, that looks pretty good. Okay, so that's done. Here's the regular standard eyes on this dude, also done. And now we're going to continue to paint up this flesh a little bit. So I'm going to highlight with this squid pink, and I'm going to mix it with, a little of this big skin tone to give her a little, just a little, an organic look. So now that Kingdom Con is over, we're still in the middle of our convention season. So we still have at least 3 more, well, I've got at least 3 more conventions looking up ahead, right? And I know you're at 2 of the 3 at least. You might be at all 3 of the 3.
Myself?
Yes.
Yeah.
So so coming up next is Strategicon GameX. Now, Strategicon is a gaming convention in LA. It's a very good board gaming convention. They have the OC board gamers. It's a good convention for that, and also very good convention to play like indie miniature games, smaller, less represented miniature games. A lot of like This Is War, Grunts, and then even the smaller titles, the stuff that we run. It's a good convention for that kind of stuff. Yeah, AX. That's a good. Yes, you're right, Josie. Yeah, that's also on the ticket. Yeah. So the next one is GameX, and it's a smaller con. It's smaller than Kingdom Con, and this is in LA by LAX. It's a very fun con, though. They throw it 3 times a year. They throw it every 3-day weekend. So Labor Day, Memorial Day weekend, and President's Day weekend. They throw Strategicon GameX. And just another one of those cool local cons. Again, not as big as Kingdom Con. Definitely not like the drinking scene that KC is. But that's not a knock. I mean, this con just has its own. It just has its own identity. It's a little more. We'll just say it's a little more family friendly than KC is. And that, again, not a knock against KC. KC knows what it is. KC celebrates that. It's a party game, and there are families at KC. It's just not at night. At Strategicon, you may have those youngsters playing Werewolf late into the night, and there's big groups of people playing Werewolf at Strategicon. It's a great con to get a demo of stuff that you wanted to play, stuff that you're looking for people who do play it. It's a very good con for this kind of stuff. They also do LARPs. They also do video games, role-playing games. They have a Pathfinder Society is pretty good there. Yeah, like you're saying, a great RPG presence there too. Dead Gamer Society. Yeah, so yeah, Strategicon's it's a very fun con, and I like to go because it's a 3-day weekend, and I want to spend a couple of days there playing some games. We're going to be. My plan is to host another Relic Knights tournament up there. I'll also be doing game demos, so who knows? Maybe we can get some more fresh talent into the game and lend them some cadres to play, and get people started, get them playing. Another thing that I really like about Strategicon is you've got the Monster vendor up there. You got the War Store. So the vendor situation is decent. The hotel is pretty cool. I really like the little bar there. It's just kind of a fun atmosphere. It's a lot of tourists going through too, because it is like literally down the street from LAX. So bear that in mind. But yeah, I have a lot of fun generally. So now I'm just painting in the flesh. I've got Through the Ages if you want to give it a shot. I'm generally down to try most games. So, and I know Corey is too. Corey
plays anything.
Corey plays anything. Corey actually plays a lot more receptive to games than I am. Sometimes there are some games out there that I'm like, nah, not interested. Corey will play anything.
This is true. And will buy anything too, which is even worse.
As long as there's a couple of reasonably cool people around a game, he'll play it.
Yes.
So, did you pick up anything cool at Kingdom Con?
I actually did not. I lie. I got something for playing Myth. Corky was running stuff like that. He was running a whole bunch of the MegaCon games. So me kind of helping him out a little bit. He hooked me up with some nice stuff. He ended up giving me a nice Myth T-shirt. I got a Gen Con exclusive card for the game. And I also got some Mercs templates. So
yeah, those are cool. Pretty nice. He kicked down one of those to me too.
Yeah, so that was really nice of him. So I got some of that stuff. And then Adam gave me a Parallax model. So I thank him for that.
For basically just for watching his
his
table
stuff
for a minute.
For like,
that's funny.
Like, here you go. And I was like, all right, I've got one more model left to collect. I've got the entire collection.
Nice.
So yeah, that was awesome of him to do that too. So but I didn't actually buy anything this year. I was kind of good. I wasn't trying to spend a lot, and I only had to spend money in the hotel really, and then food and some alcohol. So
yep,
I didn't break the bank this year.
Sweet. So probably a couple comments. Corey, I need to take a picture of my collection for you. That's what Josie's saying, because she clearly has a lot of games on hand. And I got this awesome set of Relic Knights for some guy for $200. Yes.
From some guy.
That is a pretty good list. From some dude.
I wonder who that could be.
Some guy was like, here, I want to repaint that stuff anyway. Which I will get around to. I will probably
now I can't run this list for a while.
The Radiant?
Yeah, you can't run that super crazy list that you had going on there.
Oh, the 4 candy list?
Yeah.
It's actually 3.5 candy list, but yeah. No, yeah, but that's fine. I've been playing so much like Marie Claude and Old Man lately.
Yeah, right.
That's kind of where
you throw a bunch of features and they just kind of run the table for you.
Yeah. Gotta love that Old Man and the Marie Claude list. 2 separate lists, by the way. But yeah. All right. Just getting some. So you can see her skin coming along. Got a nice little healthy glow to it. Sweet. That fan always cracks me up.
It always it wants to take off every time. I don't know why.
So do you have any painting goals for May? Or are you as
I want to finish all my Relic Knight stuff. But I've crammed in so much painting in like the last week. I'm like dead.
Yeah. Could be time for a
yeah,
break.
That's why I'm not painting any Relic Knights right now. I'm just kind of switching up the. I had to switch it up there, so just working on some of the Parallax models, and then who knows what I'll start painting next.
Well, that's cool.
I'll probably finish this guy and then start working on Candy and Cola. So I can run a super crazy
The
deck.
Forgotten King stuff or the Relic Knight stuff?
Relic Knight stuff.
Hello?
Did you hear that? Did you hear me?
No.
I'm sorry. I was the Relic Knight stuff.
Okay. Cool.
Unless I find something else that I want to paint, which I don't think I do. Maybe I'll get into some Eldorado. We'll see.
Yeah, I still have a couple Eldorado pieces to paint.
You have like the Twilight Knight,
you know,
and, the great one, the Great Damned one, or whatever, is the big dude.
I have Dewenti and Salahuddin, and I think Doppelsoldners.
Oh, okay. I still need to pick up a Westerners pack.
Cause yeah, I do plan on starting Saracens at some point.
Nice.
Because Salahuddin is such an awesome model.
Especially with the what's his name? The sand guy.
Yeah, that's the dude.
That's the guy, the genie guy.
Oh no. So that guy's a different officer.
No, he's not an officer. No, he's the he comes in the starter box.
Oh, you're talking about the genie guy that busses people around, right?
Well, he's
that
basically
dude?
like, hey, you can't shoot anyone that's in this AOE.
Yeah.
He's just the tank that moves up the field.
Yeah, that's the bus.
Yeah, the bus.
Nice. All right, let's see. About Mallory, looked at the rules and you still have to obey deployment restrictions since you're still deploying in the deployment phase unless it ends before you deploy. Yes, that is true. But what you use that for, or one of the things that's pretty nasty, what you use it for is like, you use it to put objectives that the opponent is going for, have them deploy towards it. And let's say like you lead in with your primary objective, have the guy deploy all on one side of the board trying to get that primary objective, and you can redeploy your objective at the end. And then you just throw it out in the opposite corner and you're kind of a dick. But hey, you're playing an old man, you know? You gotta use what's available to you.
That'd be so bad against Cersei.
Yeah. Well, no, it would be, I guess it would, the worst, the list that would have the most difficult time, I think, would be Black Diamond or No.
Yeah.
Would have difficult time. Because No, they need to,
No's pretty quick still. They have some mechanics to move things. You've got the
they have access to charges, they have drags, they have pulls and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But overall, they're still, when you look at the other factions, well, maybe even Corsairs might have trouble with that, getting over there that quickly.
We should try it.
No. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. Pretty nasty.
I'll bring Scully, you bring Francis.
For Relic Knights, how does Harbinath, Gabe, Moffat, and Corsair sound? You can't field Gabe with Harbinath. Oh, okay, just Harbinath. Harbinath, Moffat, and Corsairs. You can't field the Corsairs because they are not unique. Moffat is a pretty badass objective grabber. So that's already a pretty good compliment to Harby because he's a little on the slow side.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know about that. I like running Emilio with the Squall and then just having what's her name in there.
Yeah, Squall is a really good model for 9 points or whatever she costs.
Yeah, she's 9 points and she can throw out a lot of damage. So, especially with two Esper condensers off the start of the game, and you make her your first one in the activation queue, and you get to redo all your hand to begin with. It's that's what I do at least. That's my setup.
You basically play for yellow out of the gate.
Yeah, right out the gate.
Load her up with Esper.
I get her huge one time shot off, and then if I can somehow stack my hand again later on in the game, I will. But she's pretty much, for me, she's like a one time use where I might throw her back in the queue once in a while, but for me, she's like a one time use for a huge power attack, and that's about it. But she's just so strong because she pretty much does the Scully thing where it's like, oh, here's like 9 points of damage. And by the way, every other unit now gets to take 3 points of damage. Did I happen to mention that this thing is overcharged?
Now, she does have one glaring vulnerability.
That's true.
Which is,
she can't be hit in melee.
Get her in melee.
You hit her in melee and she's gone.
Yeah. And so when I see Squall on the board, I do try to send something after her.
Yeah.
That can take her out in melee, but it's still pretty difficult. I mean, she's still going to get at least two activations of blasting away at you before you can really deal with her. So
Corsairs, Calico Kate, Squall, and 2 Esper condensers. Where's my paper? Yeah. So my normal list is Calico Kate with Scully, the Squall, a unit of 5 Corsairs, and then I have Mofet in there now, just as like an objective runner. But I will most likely take out Mofet and put in another unit of Corsairs, just because they're so good. I love the Corsairs so much.
And you can run the run the train.
You can't go wrong being able to move across the board with the Corsairs, like right off. You pick up the objective, and you pretty much got like it's almost, I want to say, like a 20-inch range with those guys. So that's super, super strong in my opinion. So having 2 of those on there, they're pretty quick for running objectives if that's what I need to do. But of course, it's super annoying for your opponent.
All right. So moving right along with our succubus here. Here she goes. What's the difference between a Relic Knight and a Questing Knight? Well, the Relic Knight, the visual difference is the Relic Knight has the giant mecha that they're riding on. They tend to be more expensive, but mechanically, they tend to have better stats. They tend to be more powerful, and then they have a thing called Esper Expression. That's one thing that they have that Questing Knights don't currently have, is at the start of the turn, you check the amount of held Esper on the Relic Knight, and it will usually manifest in some form of bonus. Like you could have, for example, with Malia, your speed increases with the amount of held Esper you have. With one shot, your damage increases with the amount of Esper you have. What's Kate's?
She has flip.
Oh yeah, that's right. Her damage flips go.
So it's either going to go up or down.
Yeah, or erratic. But yeah, those are the general differences. Now, the argument can be made that, and I think there's some truth to this, that Relic Knights tend to be more good all-arounders. They tend to have a really good overall set of capabilities, whereas Questing Knights are a little more focused in their playstyle. And I actually agree with that. I don't think it's a bad thing either, though, because you are paying almost a third less points for a Questing Knight. So there is that. Where is? That's not it. Looking for a specific bright here. There we go. All right, so we're going to start painting the hair in. That's hot.
What?
I don't know what she's referring to. Anyway, start painting the hair in.
It's hot.
What's it?
Your paint job that's hot.
Ah,
I
thank
don't
you.
know.
If that's what she meant, sure.
I have no idea.
Oh, you know what? I do need to. So yeah, so for the rest of this month, we've got GameX, which is always fun. Then we have, before then, I actually have a paint day that I scheduled today on Facebook, which should be cool for those people who, like, if you're like us, own a bunch of stuff and you want to paint it. You know, one of the best motivators for that is to get together with your friends, sit down, bullshit, and paint. I think that's one of the best. I think that's kind of the video, really, is to get people just to sit down and paint and talk about games or events or that kind of stuff. And it works pretty well. It's pretty cool. There were a couple people at the con that came up to me and said, "Hey, thank you for doing your show, because you know we get some painting done, and that's really cool. I like that. That means something to me. That, you know, even if I always say that, as long as one person gets something out of this show, as long as one person is watching it and you know, either just enjoying it, or you know, maybe they're painting along with it and they're getting through their projects, then that's fine. It doesn't matter how many people actually watch the show. As long as the people that do watch the show do get something out of it, I will continue to do it. So sorry, I keep looking back and you've got more and more of this figure done. I don't think I have the patience or the talent to make. Oh yeah, you can though. You can. It's not that. It's really not. I think, if anything, Josie, I think miniature painting would appeal to your meticulous nature, and I think you would you'd actually probably be pretty damn good at it with some basics down. But
It
that's
just takes practice and lots of time.
It takes practice, and you know, for me, this is something I do almost every day. It's a way for me to unwind, kind of let the day decompress. And yeah, it's great.
And then you get to play with stuff.
Yes.
I wonder why they call it play it.
Mm-hmm. So here's her hair coming in. And a little eyebrows in. All right. Next up, I need a little yellow ochre. Once again, if you're just tuning in, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting, what you should be painting. Tonight we're painting up some SDE, and Corey is painting up some Parallax. Put on a movie or TV show while you paint and it goes quickly. Yes.
Yes, it does. I've come to learn you only put on movies that you've watched before, though.
Yeah. Don't put on something that you have to look away and watch, because it's not going to work very well. I put on, when I don't put a movie or TV on, you can put music on. I actually put like YouTube live feeds on, or streams on, like this. I'll even put this show on. That's how sad, because there's not enough. Yeah, there's not enough other shows out there right now of this type to be able. And there used to be, like, I used to watch Dice Rage Live, while I was doing this, or I would watch, shoot, what was the other one? Skrillex, I think. He used to do a painting stream. And, you know, you don't have to look up at what they're painting, but it's cool to do it once in a while just to see how far they along there. Okay. Major colors are coming in now. Let's do a little, oh, here's a thing. That's how I watch anime, because I find it doesn't require much of your attention. Yeah, I know that I need to watch anime that is dubbed so that I don't have to read subtitles or anything like that. And I do end up watching a bit of anime too while I'm painting this stuff. So I'm just giving this guy a highlight of the yellow ochre, just to help define the armor a little bit better. And I'll work some more a little bit later. Just figured since I had the yellow ochre out, I can show you guys a little bit of how this non-metallic stuff works. So you do those airbrush effects, then you do a quick highlight, and it starts to pop. He looks pretty cool, I think. All right. I've got it. Codebreaker, Emiliel, and Moffat. That actually does sound like a pretty good.
Codebreaker?
Yeah. Codebreaker's not out yet, but yeah, that does sound interesting.
I was like, wait, what the heck? How does someone have that?
Ooh. Okay. Okay. All right, let's move back over to her. She needs, I need Iraqi sand for those skull parts. We're going to move pretty quick here because we are coming up on the 2-hour mark, and I try to keep these all at 2 hours so that we finish things on time. I don't really know why. I mean, we've gone overtime a few times, but on 2 models like this, you should go pretty quick. Yeah, just checking out the other characters and seeing how to put them with what prepares me for matches. Yeah, you know, that's pretty normal for people to kind of look at what the capabilities are, what kind of lists they might put together for a faction they don't yet own, and see how it would stack up with what they're currently trying to build.
Well, the great thing is you can always take 2 lists to Endless Hunger tournament with you.
That is true.
And they have to be
Endless Hunger, yeah, Endless Hunger doesn't even require that. Yeah, like you beat me to that. So now I'm just doing the little wrappings on the hair. The what are these, little pigtails or whatever? There we go. Looks pretty cool. Looking pretty good. Not really liking how that last highlight, just not smooth enough. The slave cipher gains 1 Esper for every card you discard. Put him with Iron Chef and that cipher stew. The thing is, I don't think you can take. Oh, I don't know. Right? Because Codebreaker is a Black Diamond questing knight, I believe, which means you wouldn't be able to take normal Iron Chef. You could take Dark Space Iron Chef, but I don't think Dark Space Iron Chef is.
He's not that good.
What's it called? Yeah, I don't think he has Cipher Stew. Cipher Stew is amazing.
No, he doesn't.
I'm surprised you don't take Cipher Stew with Scully, because Scully's
I
pretty
don't know.
nasty. It's almost like you don't really have time to waste the activation to do that. You just want to start hucking bombs at people as soon as possible.
Start clicking bombs. I don't care.
Yeah. Stupid Scully. Damn it, Scully.
I mean, unless I decided to drop Mofit and then drop an Esper Condenser.
Okay. So next up, I'm going to wash her skin. I'm going to wash it with in parts, a little this Seraphim Sepia. And in fact, I could also wash parts of this model with that, just to give him a little depth. But it's not too bad. That thing just kills me every time, man.
I know, right?
All right. Not seeing some of the other regular viewers. They probably can't watch Monday nights. Plus, I didn't do a great job. Well, I never do a great job announcing this show. We just do it. We just, okay, well, here's the night we can do it, and we just do it.
Yeah, so looking at it, I could take out Mofit and Esper Condenser, but then I'm kind of screwing with Squall. But if there's an Esper terrain out there, it'd be like I would feel like I'd be more inclined to try to get to that thing.
Yeah.
But then I'm kind of throwing myself off by just trying to get random activations out just to get her there.
Yeah, it makes sense. Cool. Okay. All right.
And I do like taking the Corsair.
Wait,
unit.
so Mofit wouldn't work in either, would she? Since she's Corsair like Iron Chef. Yeah, but Harbinath can take any unique Void character. So Harbinath can take any unique from Black Diamond, Corsairs, or No Empire. So she would work in Harbinath list. It's kind of weird how that works. It's just you've got like the you can take individuals from Doctrine, Shattered Sword, or Cersei, and Harbinath can take individuals from the other 3 factions. But they can only take individuals, and they can only take from those 3 factions, or they can take generic Void. Yeah.
Because I was going to look at trying to put in the Serpent Priestess with Harbinath, but Serpent Priestess is it's just a minion. because you'd have 2 units with compel in a list, and that would be crazy.
Yes, that would be pretty crazy. Well, that's cool. Codebreaker looks terrifying, but his cipher is worse. It starts with 6 Esper. Yeah, but his cipher can die. That's one of the drawbacks. But he does look pretty gross. There's going to be a number of people trying out Codebreaker, I know, when he finally comes out. All right, so now run a little of that here. I did not paint the flesh in for this guy, but it's okay. But we're just gonna do his armor tonight anyway, so that part's done, and I can just knock him out whenever I feel like. Maybe tomorrow night when I get home from gaming. Well, we shall see. Yeah, I'll show you him. See how that wash kind of gave him some depth? There you go. And now it does look pretty metallic-y, bronzy type thing.
That's what I need to paint. Arena Rex.
Oh yeah, Arena Rex is awesome. So this, our little succubus is just about done. We just need to do some highlights. So come back in, really highlight the flesh. You can see how that pink skin is starting to look more like skin and less like just pink. Did that even make sense? It's starting to look more like skin and just less like pink.
Yes.
It did?
Starting to look more like skin and less like just like pink.
Like pink clothing? Like it looks less like a pink bodysuit, I guess. I don't know. Here we go. All right. I saw, but that's okay because the Slave Cipher's discard. In 3 games, I never finished my deck. I was more focused on objectives. Yeah, that's pretty not wargamery. Wargamers tend to burn through that deck. And if you're good at that, then Circe may be the faction for you.
You know, I feel like Circe is pretty much good. I don't want to say all around. Like they are, yes, they're fast. Like that's what they're really good at. But there were some games where I was just playing Circe, and I had to like tear it down, and I still got it done.
Who you're taking as your knight?
Malia.
Yeah, Malia is just a beast. Sure, if you look at her abilities,
she's crazy.
She is crazy good. She has great movement. She's got good defensive skills. She's got her attacks are no joke because she's got a push in there. She's got decent ranged attack in there.
Well, she gives everyone
yeah,
like
Molly
a
is in there.
move as part of their action too.
Yeah, she gives everybody a feint. She's no joke for sure. Somebody just messaged me, one sec. Where did it go? Ah! Oh. Yeah, okay. Gareth, I'll get that to you in a bit. As I finish painting with a little highlights. How's your miniature coming along there?
Not too bad. Just trying to get his tail done right now.
Okay.
It's just so, like, the detail on it is just making it so hard for me to get the paint all the cracks. But it was kind of cool with when I was running the Play It Painted shirt, because I walked around a little bit, and some people were like, "Oh, you're with Play It Painted," and I was like, "Well, yeah." And he's like, "You
Well,
guys are
yeah.
awesome." He's like, "You guys are awesome."
You're like, yeah, recognized, man.
Yeah. And it was just great because people were like, "Oh my gosh, we like, we your show," and I'm like, "Well, I mean, it's Octave's show. I just jump on sometimes, but." And then some people that watch the show are like, "Wait, you sound familiar," and I'm like, "Is that good?" Or they're like, "Well, you're on Play It Painted, aren't you?" And I was like, "Usually I am. Yes, that could be me." So it's kind of cool.
That's your e-fame.
My
You must
e-fame,
enjoy
and I got a lot of that
enjoy
this
the
week.
e-fame.
It was funny because like the last day, I was just walking around and Ross saw me and he's like, "Corey, I had more people ask for you than for me today. Why is this all about you, not me?" And I was like, "I have no idea what's going on." He's like, "Listen, I am today." I was like, I don't know
That's
why,
awesome.
but okay.
That is awesome. All right, so I'm doing a highlight on the hair here, which is really tough because it's just this big round object, and you want to do this without leaving brush strokes on. Normally, this is a job for airbrush, but what you can do is basically make a glaze. You thin the paint down so much that it literally is water thin, and you just run several layers of it, build it up, and there you go. And it should look pretty smooth. The transition should look pretty good. Depending on your skill, it may not be it like with my skill, it's not going to be as nice as the airbrush, but it still looks pretty cool. It looks, that's awesome. Yeah, Phil was wearing his Play It Painted shirts too. I need to get more shirts for people that are going to be working shows with us.
Yeah. Someone told me they didn't even get a shirt yet. I think your brother told me he didn't get a shirt from you.
Oh, you didn't get one? Okay. Well, he hasn't worked a show with me.
It was funny
in a
because
while.
he's like, "Where did you get that shirt from?" And I was like, "Your brother gave it to me." And he's like, "I don't even get that shirt yet." And I was like, "Well, maybe he likes me more than you."
He has a banner.
I don't have a banner.
You don't have a banner.
I don't.
I'm missing a banner. If I find the banner, I'll give you the banner, but I don't have a banner besides me. I have a banner. Phil doesn't have a banner. Phil designed like all the shirts and stuff.
Phil designs everything, yet gets nothing.
Yeah. Phil designed everything, and like, okay, well, he just barely got his shirt and he designed it.
Yeah, I got the older ones that you guys did. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, it looks like I wear a dress with it, so I don't really wear it too often.
Oh, you mean the gray one?
Yeah,
Yeah, that one's funny. The Pippin
it's
Ain't
like
Easy shirt.
it's like extra large. I'm just like, guys,
We had
that's
to get that, in case, some of the bigger guys, it's a prize, so in case some of the bigger guys win it, then yeah.
here's your extra small T-shirt. Hopefully, it fits you.
All right, there is literally one last thing for me to do here. And this model is done. And I'm going to show you what that is. I'm just going to cheat here. Show you a little bit. So I want her to be in black, but you don't paint black. You don't paint black when you're painting on the model. You paint black gray because it looks black, and you can shade it and you can highlight it and it doesn't look weird. I guess if you wanted to, you could paint a full black, but I just haven't seen one that looks very good in my opinion.
Painting on black on a model.
You just paint regular full-on black on a model?
So I do the dog, like I'm doing his hair full on black, and then I do like the nose and the eyes black, and then I go ahead with the carbon, the heavy charcoal.
Yeah.
And that lightens up a bit as like a highlight. Sometimes I do it like that. Usually I'll just do like a gray and then like a black wash.
That makes sense.
I'm still trying to figure out all these techniques.
The faster way is to paint black gray and then hit it with a black wash.
Yeah.
But, many different ways you can do it. Okay, but Viper's a minion. Is Viper a minion? Oh yeah, that's right. Viper is not a unique model. That is true. There we're getting some better definition now for her. So, are you going to the paint day on the 9th? Yes. Nice. Should be fun.
Of course. Well, painting is always.
I need to work out specifics.
So better.
What's that?
Painting with people just makes it so much better.
It does. I think one of the reasons why I stuck with painting very early on was we all used to paint in my parents' shed, and our friends would just come over, and instead of going to the house, they would just go straight back to the shed, and we'd always be back there painting. And so it just became a very normal thing, just to paint that way, and to paint with people.
It's just like, and then you learn from other people and their techniques. Because, I mean, having the show is nice and all, but it's like, hey, how do I do this? And you're like, well, I can't show you how to do this because I'm not doing it, but I can try to tell you. Because I can be like, here's my model. Can you show me how to do this?
Yeah, Shears had asked me to sit down and just paint with him, because he said, yeah, I understand what you do in theory, but I still don't see how you do it. And so he'd asked me to sit down, like if he wanted to, if I would sit down live with him and paint with him. And I said, sure, but he hasn't shown up one of my paint days. So, hey, what are you going to do?
What?
Right? So I did my part as far as I'm concerned. I said I was done, but I just wanted to do a little more highlighting on the face here, just because I want to. Just because this model's freaking cool. Oh, thank you. She's looking great. Thank you, Josie. I hear a cat crying.
Mine do that all the time, except for it's like 1 o'clock in the morning and they just want me to pet them. I'm like, go away.
Or feed them.
Or feed. No, I keep their bowl full. That way they don't do that.
Oh. Whoa, that was not good. Gotta fix that. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, spent a lot more time on this model than I had allotted myself, but here she is. Boop. So, pretty fun. How's yours looking?
So, do you give yourself like I'm only going to spend this much time on this model before I go to the next one, or is it?
Kind of. Yeah. I mean, like
you
when I
have
do
like
the
a set
show.
goal?
Yeah, when I do the show, the idea that I have in mind is, okay, I'm gonna paint most of the way through 2, but I'll finish 1. And the reason why I do that is because I want people to see the full progression on 1, and it's difficult to. Now I have done batch painting on the show. I just think it's so boring. That said, I had a viewer ask me the other week, "Hey, can you show me batch painting?" I was like, well, yeah, I can. So at some point I will actually I'll break out some batch painting and just do that.
Now,
But
when you're just painting like not on the show, do you kind of just like give yourself like, hey, I'm going to spend like an hour on this model, and then just if it's good, it's good, or
if it's okay, so if it's just me and there's no show, I normally pick a number of models that are going to I need to be finished by the end of my session. Sometimes that means that the session runs a little bit longer than I had originally planned, but usually it's pretty good. Like if the camera wasn't on tonight, I would just go ahead and finish both models, and I'd be moving a little bit faster too, to because I'm not explaining things and we're not talking about specific topics or anything like that. So I could move a little bit faster. But yeah, so in the case of the live feed, I want to be able to finish at least one thing, so that people have something to look at the end, and they can see that it was painted from start to finish on camera. So
okay.
I'm deciding if I want to do a wash on her wings or not. I don't know. I mean, she looks pretty bright, but I don't
I
know
think
if
it looks pretty anime enough to me.
yeah. I mean, the wash would soften up these highlights on the veins of the wing,
Could you
but
do
it would
like
also kind of dull her. I'm sorry?
could you do like an ink?
Yeah, I do it. In this case, I would do a wash. I'd probably do a brown wash or a sepia wash to make
Okay.
it look more natural again. But it looks okay. You know, that's
Yeah. I think it looks well from here. It looks really good.
so there's stuff like that, and that I'll think about it when I'm finishing up a model, and then kind of not do and just decide later on. Like if it bothers me that much, I'll just come back and hit it, because that's a very quick thing to do if I wanted to just hit it with a wash. So, but yeah, that's her. This dude here got a lot of, well, not too much work. I mean, if I'd plugged a little bit faster through, I could have finished painting him. The only thing that really needs to be painted on his side is I need to paint his skin in, obviously. And then sandals, and I need to highlight this guy right there. So I should see if there's actually any other like YouTube comments besides what's going on in live chat. No, it doesn't look like anything's going on in live chat. So anyway, it is quite late at this point. Let's see. One more question here. Wait, so Moffat wouldn't work in... Oh, wait, that was an older comment. Okay, I think that's it. Alrighty, well, I got to get up early tomorrow for work, but, you know, we got Vandella done, and she's fun. Fun little model. She'll make a great little good guy, bad guy for our games. So that's going to be it for this video. Corey, you have anything to say before we sign off here?
Everyone that's watching or will watch, thanks for attendance at KingdomCon. Had a great time. And let's hopefully do another tournament in the near future again. After, of course, StrategiCon comes around.
Well, you're going to play, and you're going to be playing in the GameX one, right? If you show up.
I'm gonna, yeah. If I can make it, I will. I think that's the weekend of that I'm supposed to be going to.
I'm sorry.
There's an SCA event that weekend, I believe. I'm trying to just double check the calendars, but.
Oh yeah, more than likely, huh?
I've already confirmed on that one, but if not, I will definitely be to the next one.
I was just gonna say, because we could see, you know, if you did make it out there, we could see who could take down your Corsair list, which always does very well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. If not, I'm sure we can run a tournament ourselves instead of at a convention. But
true, we should probably do something at one of the shops, either at Ease or Comic Quest or Monstore.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hey, hi Tori. Yeah, sorry, dude. I guess you hopped on kind of late here, but just painting a little STE. This is not, by the way, Tori. This is not part of the May painting challenge. This is extracurricular miniatures. I still have all the Wave 2 Super Dungeon stuff for the formal challenge. So I'm just painting through a couple of the odds and ends, some stuff I got this weekend, which is pretty cool. I need to start attending SCA events again. I have never attended an SCA event, and they look cool. I'm more of a, I'm going to go to Ren Fair and drink some beer and walk around type guy. SCA events do look cool.
They're fun.
Yeah. Do you ever plan on doing any of the fighting?
I did once, and it was pretty awesome. I had a really good time, and I was gonna do it again this time, but I'm on like a little injury restriction right now, so I'm pretty much taking it out. So Not gonna be fighting for a while, but I'm just gonna go to hang out and have a good time, and then drink some more at nighttime, I guess.
Nice. Well, yeah.
Meet some new people, all that fun stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's a good time.
Cool. All right. Well, with that, I think that's going to do it for this video. Thanks. Want to thank you guys for watching. Again, yeah, Corey, you did a freaking awesome job at Kingdom Con. So you were the man. It was the Corey show. I came in and did my thing on Saturday with you there, but for the most part, that was your show, and you killed it, man. It was awesome. So
yeah, thanks. I don't mind it at all. It's great. I'll do it again any day of the week.
What is this? I have an wait, I gotta read this. I have an $800 Norman French helm and a lightsaber.
A lightsaber?
Yes, a lightsaber. We call it the lightsaber. My sword of choice is longer and whippier than normal, so I can take advantage of reach. That makes sense.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, I really like watching the videos that they shoot for SAA events, like watching the wars and stuff break out. That's always pretty cool. So, you know, if I had more time to be away and doing stuff like this, I might consider it. But yeah. But anyway, I think that's going to do it, guys. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I may actually, I might still do a feed on Wednesday. It might be like 10 o'clock, and I might do it just to paint like this guy or something else for fun. Well, obviously, there's only about 30 minutes worth of painting left on this guy. But yeah, I may paint something on Wednesday just for the hell of it, because we've got May Painting Challenge starting on Thursday. So stay tuned for that. There's going to be daily videos on this channel like, hey, I painted this thing, and that's a thing, and other stuff. So some final comments.
I painted a thing.
Check out Eyes of the Dragon Great Western. I'm in those fights. Okay, cool. I last fought alongside Ross and the Bitter Luck Gang. I thought that was an F for a second there. I was like, whoa, the Bitter Luck Gang is awesome. Whatever they do. It was so sad. I was on TV. There was a thing called, you know, the title of the show came on, and it was like James Recital or whatever, right? And I didn't see the I, and I was like, James Rectal. What the hell am I watching? But yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I think it's getting late enough. I'm gonna have to call it, guys, and I'm gonna go to sleep. And if I see you tomorrow, cool, at Comic Quest, if you guys want to go. If not, I will catch you guys either on the show or whatever, one of those things. All right, so that's going to be it for this video. I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.